All right, so today is a Monday, the 17th of February, 2025. This year is also gradually going. I mean, by next week, we'll be done with the month of February, talking about the month of March. So this week we have a number of fundamental events which are expected to, bring some impact into the market, into the foreign exchange market. Today, Monday, we don't have any tradable fundamental. Just do a run through of the important events for this week. So today, Monday, we have a bank holiday from Canada and also bank holiday from the United States. So you can see bank holiday, bank holiday. So uh, now there are implications to this. One, it means the market may be quiet, because when there are holidays, it means that the banks are not going to open. Especially this one is even specifically labeled as bank holiday. And when the banks are not open, the currency may not really move. So you might experience some range in the market in the course of today. In fact, I would say prepare for a range. And if there's going to be any movement at all, an irrational kind of movement or, a movement that is not stable, if such will happen. So, but generally, we may just prepare our minds for some range in the market in the course of today. So please trade with caution and especially trades around dollar and the Canadian dollar, American dollar, and Canadian dollar. We're extremely very cautious of those two instruments today. Now, tomorrow, Tuesday, we have the important event tomorrow. There's going to be cash rate, which is the version of interest rate in Australia, followed by RBA monetary policy statement. That's the Reserve Bank of Australia monetary policy statement, Reserve Bank of Australia rate statement, and the RBA press conference. So that will happen between 4:30 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. So there's no harm in waking up early to trade this. If you are already familiar with how we trade news, probably by that trading, and you'll think how this is done. You can as well just wake up early in the morning and make some pips while you prepare to go to work. And tomorrow, Tuesday again, the other important event for tomorrow is the Canada CPI by 2:30 p.m. We have quite about four events from Canada happening simultaneously. We have the CPI monthly, Indian CPI yearly, Trim CPI yearly, and the common CPI all happening by 2:30 p.m. That is the second most important event that are very, very tradable tomorrow. And on Wednesday, there'll be cash rates from New Zealand. New Zealand and Australia, they have similarities. They have similar characteristics. So Australia calls their own interest rate cash rate, and New Zealand also calls its own interest rate cash rate. So Australia will be having its own version of interest rates on Wednesday by 2 a.m. You need to wake up early or stay awake to do this. You have to do that just to make some extra pips. And the other important event on Wednesday will be the CPI yearly from the United Kingdom by 8 a.m. on Wednesday. This will likely move the market. So I will encourage us early in the morning on Wednesday. We can plan to trade this by 8 a.m. And on Thursday, the key event on Thursday will be employment change and unemployment rate from Australia. This is Canada. Sorry, this is Australia's version. How am I saying Canada? Australia's version of NFP. Let's put it that way. It deals with the employment rate and unemployment, employment change and unemployment rate in Australia, and it's going to come up by 1:30 a.m. late in the night here in Nigeria. So that is equally going to be tradable. You might stay awake also or wake early to trade it, whichever one works for you. And later on Thursday, we have unemployment claims from the United States, which will happen simultaneously with the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. That will come up by 2:30 p.m. on Thursday. And finally, on Friday, the key event for Friday will be the retail sales from the United Kingdom, which will take place by 8 a.m. in the morning. Then the other events for the day are equally important. All the flash manufacturing PMI, French flash manufacturing PMI, German flash manufacturing PMI, all in the Eurozone. You can see we have quite a number of these events happening simultaneously. So Friday is going to be a very, very busy day in the market for both the Eurozone and the United Kingdom from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And later in the afternoon of Friday, we're going to be having the core retail sales, which is equally a volatile event. Having the core retail sales from Canada, retail sales also from Canada, and later in the afternoon, American flash and services. So Friday is just loaded with a lot of fundamental activity. In fact, I would say Friday, just ignore any technical setup, just face the fundamentals. So right from 8 a.m. to about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So Friday is the busiest day of the week with fundamental events. So let's take note of these key events and plan towards trading them. Trading news is just one of the, let me use the word easy ways to make money in Forex, because within a fraction of a second, your bank accounts can be filled with money. You understand? So don't miss that opportunity. Okay, so let's go to the technicals and see what we have for this week from a technical standpoint. Now, from the technical standpoint, the market is not too stable at the moment, like I told us on Friday. And when there's clarity, well, we'll get more clear setup. But then my view of the market for right from January seems to be working out my view of a long-term bearish move in the dollar. And it's really working out. We only need to wait for a few confirmation here and there before we have the final breakout that has been long anticipated. And because the dollar is getting weaker by the day, though we might have some strength maybe today, tomorrow, after which is just a retracement, after which the dollar will continue in its long-term direction. And if the long-term direction of dollar resumes, which is bearish, then we'll also need to expect a long-term bullish movement in gold and other major pairs where the dollar is a quote currency, not the base. So this is what I'm seeing in essence. Price is just at the verge of breaking below this support, minor support on the daily time frame. I remember I've told us many times that I'm seeing a pattern forming here which currently is evolving into a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder. So price is currently testing the trend line. If a new candle opens below here, then we'll have a long-term view. But that's just the long-term, direction which the dollar is expected to go. In terms of trading opportunity for this week, I'm looking at the JPY pairs. The JPY are the instrument of focus. I remember telling us last week that those JPY pairs were just taking a retracement, after which they are going to continue in their major direction, which is a bullish movement. So that view still remains. And I'm looking at the Euro JPY and the GBP JPY. Those are the two I'm putting my attention on, even though the others will still likely go in the same direction. But I'm seeing I'm seeing a higher probability setup on the Euro JPY and the GBP JPY. Now, this is the Euro JPY on the daily time frame, and we can clearly see that price earlier on hits a support zone on the daily. This is daily. We have a very, very valid support zone. We can call it a triple bottom right there, which is equally another pattern that can evolve into a tradable position. And if you flip down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see here the formation of an inverse head and shoulder, head, a second shoulder, then the next wave will be a breakout upwards. So with this, I'm looking out for a bullish breakout on Euro JPY in the course of this week. The only thing we need to do is to wait for price to break out above the neckline. If a new candle opens above this neckline, it will be a time to trigger a buy on the Euro JPY. Now, this is a swing setup. So when we see an intraday setup, definitely we'll let you know. But then this is what the market is presenting. You don't dictate for the market. You just follow the market. If you want to be safe in forex trading, your job is to follow the market where it's going. You don't take a decision that this is what you want to do. So the wave we are having now is a possible bullish breakout on the Euro JPY. And you can clearly see from here that price, is testing, is using this Fibonacci level 38.2, more like a kind of a support zone, and that's from there we may have the the bullish movement up to at least the next to Fibonacci 78.2 and possibly to Fibonacci 100. So on a safe note to me, you can see that we have also a Fibonacci level just around the region of the neckline. So once price breaks out above Fibonacci 1.8 and above the neckline, it will be a safe time to trigger a buy on the Euro JPY. And the expected movement of this will give us between between 110 pips to about 100, about 200 and about 290 pips. Like I said, it's a swing setup, so it's not the setup that will all be fulfilled within one day. It can take days before it gets fulfilled, but then it's a very high probability setup, all things being equal. So as long as price is able to get itself to go back up here and break out, then we'll have a bullish movement on the Euro JPY. So I'm bullish on the Euro JPY for this week on 4-hour time frame, which is a swing setup. And like I said, I have similar setup on the GBP JPY likewise. For the GBP JPY, let's start here. We'll start from the weekly time frame. We can see that last week candle closed as a bullish, kind of a bullish engulfing, candlestick. Not only that, we also have a trend line here that connects, the higher lows. So price is literally trending up right here. So we have an uptrend with a bullish engulfing pattern. That is technically a bullish breakout expected on the GBP JPY. And if we flip down to the daily and finally to the 4-hour, this is what we can clearly see. I can clearly see a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and a proposed breakup. Now, take note of the word proposed. It has not happened yet, but by understanding patterns, as a technical trader, I know what is being formed. Usually, when you see patterns like this, you need to complete it in your mind before it finally materializes. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a head and shoulder pattern, forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern forming on the GBP JPY. And if I use my Fibonacci tool, I'll also clearly see that the neckline region is the same region where there's a confluence of Fibonacci 50, which is this region. This is the neckline. Price needs to break out above the neckline for us to see that massive bullish movement. Now, some will say, okay, since you expect price to, go bullish, why can't we enter a buy now? You don't trade patterns. It's a futuristic setup, so you wait for it to mature, and there are predefined professional entry levels, which is above the neckline. You will be successful with trading if you stick with the rules and not just, unnecessarily be in a hurry to see things work out. So wait for a new candle to open above the neckline, which is around the Fibonacci 50 region. And that way you are more guaranteed of a more successful trade. Because what if some fundamentals happen today, you enter a buy and the fundamental decides to drop price down, even if it's still going to go back up? That's a downward movement will wipe out your account if, it's a very big one. So it's good to be patient and wait for the setup to form. It's a swing setup. If it's a daily time frame, we'll definitely have posted it. But this works better on the swing setup. So price is expected to break out above Fibonacci 50 and it will target Fibonacci 61.8 at about 115 pips, Fibonacci 311 at 78 pips, and Fibonacci 100 at about 500 pips, 552 pips. So this is a massive one on the GBP/JPY, and I would encourage you to trade GBP/JPY with a lot of caution because this instrument can be extremely volatile. So as this trade evolves, we will let you know, when we have to drop a signal on it. For now, let's just keep our eyes on it. For those who are just joining us, don't forget today the market may be ranging because America and Canada are both having bank holiday. So check for a factory earlier to confirm that. So the market might not move as expected today. So currency pairs might choose to move. We're not aware yet of that, but generally the mood of the market when banks are on holidays at the market may range. So just prepare your mind and trade with caution around the dollar American dollar and the Canadian dollar, any dollar and Canadian dollar pair, especially USD card that connects both currencies together. You need to take a lot of caution trading that instrument in the course of today. All right, that'll be all from my end this morning. We are bullish on the Euro JPY and the GBP JPY on the 4-hour setup. That's a swing setup which can span a couple of days to even a week or more, depending on market conditions. So that's all from my end. If you have a question or you want me to check any setup for you, you can just go ahead and post it in the comment section, and I will do that as well. So while we're waiting for those who want to drop the request, don't forget our physical training classes continues. For Lagos, there has been a little reschedule in the arrangement. I remember announcing to us a couple of weeks back that we're going to be having 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, but that arrangement has to change, based on some issues that's around the facility we're using. So we have to revert back to the old arrangement we had, which is Tuesday and Thursday. So we've completed a batch of training, from the beginning of the month till last Thursday. We completed the batch. A new batch of training starts tomorrow and will be completed next Thursday. So it's still the same teaching we're giving, but at a compressed time. And it's still the same quality delivery. So that it's shorter does not mean the quality will drop. No, the quality is still, I will even say the quality is even better. So if you have not had the opportunity of attending our physical training, both in Lagos and Abuja, then make it a date to be with us in these locations, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's now same day for training for both Lagos and Abuja. So make yourself available for physical training at these 2 locations. Our address in Abuja is Work and Connect Building, 58B2 Okiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja. And our address in Lagos is 54B Lagos Executive Business Lounge, 54B Adeniyi Jones Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Training in Abuja starts 10:30 a.m. on those 2 days, Tuesdays, Thursdays, while in Lagos it's 11 a.m. for both Tuesdays and Thursdays. But for both 2 locations, we're running the same batch of training now, and we'll start tomorrow and end by next week, Thursday. Just 4 sessions, and you'll go from, a beginner trader to a pro trader just within 2 weeks. All right, so that's the announcement I have to make. So let's look at the requests being made. Okere Precious is asking me to check gold. Daniel is also asking me to check gold. Noel, gold. Olawale, gold. What is it with gold? Everybody wants to trade gold. Madam Monaji, gold. Okay, so let's check gold. Virtually everybody is asking to check gold, except Jesu Tola Olusegun is asking about BTC USD. All right, so let's look at gold. Okay, Prince Davidson, GBP USD and gold. All right, so for those asking about gold, I've always intimated us with my view on gold in the last couple of days to a week or more. On the weekly time frame, gold has been trending higher, and I think I should just delete all this so that I can show us afresh. Now, this is gold on the weekly time frame, and last week closed with a rejection candle. Rejection candles often can indicate a potential reversal of price, meaning if the market is in an uptrend, when you have a rejection candle, it can reverse to a downtrend from an uptrend. Now, not only that, we are also seeing that price hits that high at a psychological level around numbers, that's psychological level 2,904. Now, we are seeing the highest move of gold ever in the market at this point, and there are projections gold might be trending higher for a long time to come. Actually more fundamental driven based on many factors around the dollar at this point in time. So we can see that gold is trading at its very peak. This is the peak price ever on gold. You go to the monthly time frame, you see that If you zoom so low, you've not seen gold come as high as this before. All right, so with that rejection candle, we actually expect a potential, let me use the word retracement here now, not completely reversal, but at least some bearish movement on gold on a weekly time frame can give you some hundreds of pips. So it's not something to joke with. And if you draw a trend line, around that region, you discover that we have a perfect trend line here where price equally hits that rejection candle, which is also giving us the potential for, a kind of a retracement. Let's just maintain the word retracement and not necessarily reversal. And if you come here also, we're seeing another trend line here, which is giving us a view of a rising wedge pattern. That's on the weekly time frame. And on the daily, last week Friday closed more like a kind of a bearish engulfing candle around a resistance, a resistance level over there. So technically, we're expecting a bearish potential on gold. This is 4-hour time frame. Just a second. All right, so we have a rising wedge here also, which is telling us that we might see some bearish movement on gold. Now, it looks like it's trying to form a shoulder, a head. Somebody once asked me, how come do I find it easy to identify head and shoulder? But I would say it's experience. It's a shoulder head, a possible shoulder, and that can lead to a drop. Though currently price is now testing that resistance level on the weekly time frame, which is this region. Will it form a head and shoulder? It's not mandatory. It's a 50-50. But what I know is that if price is unable to break out above this level and it makes a new low below this support level, which is acting like a neckline, a new candle opens below that region, then we are expecting a sell on gold. We're expecting a sell on gold. So we need to, watch that level closely, pardon me. We need to watch it closely for a potential reversal on gold. If the price breaks out below that neckline region I just showed us now, then we should be expecting, a sell on gold. Now the question is, can you give a signal now? No, I can't give you a signal. In this kind of trade, you need clarity. And also, this is a 4-hour setup. Giving a signal on 4 hours on gold should be avoided if you have to, because gold can move very fast, and 4 hours could mean your stop loss will be very large, which if you are trading with a small account, that may not be the best. So we need to wait for a clear cut breakout, a confirmed breakout before we can give a signal. Now, currently RSI is clearly below 50, meaning that price is getting ready for a kind of a sell, but we have to wait for it and see it clearly break out before we can, truly determine a sell and give a signal. But analysis-wise, I'll tell you that I'm bearish on gold. So you can watch that level, and when we see it break that level, we can also guide you as to the next thing to do. So we're bearish on gold. All right, another person is asking about GBP USD and BTC USD. All right, so for GBP USD, because gold and dollar is expected to sell on the long term. I've given this analysis right from January. Because dollar is expected to sell, we're expecting a long-term bullish breakout on the GBP USD, Euro USD, AUD USD, and others. But for now, we also need to take a little caution, and what's the caution? Currently, GBP USD closed as a rejection candle last Friday, which you can see here, and it's still trading around a resistance zone. It's trading around the resistance zone here. There's a resistance. in that region. So for us to buy, we need to wait for a new candle to break out above this resistance zone. Now, it's possible it may sell, but I will advise you to avoid selling because that sell may not really go for long. The long-term movement is bullish. So it will be more advisable if you can wait for price to break above this resistance before you look for an opportunity to buy. So I would say I'm more favorable towards a bullish movement on GPUSA compared to a bearish movement. That bearish movement, we don't know how far it's going to go. It may just drop a little and break. It may drop further, but it can't be guaranteed. Bigger move on the GPUSD will be a buy, not a sell. Then you're welcome, Madam Onaji. Then finally on the BTC USD. BTC USD has been in a range for the last like 1 to 2 weeks. That's BTC on the daily time frame. On the bigger picture, is in a range on the daily up there, and right about this other region also, it's been within a range. This is where price. This is a region where price presently is. It's ranging around this region also. So if you go down to the 4-hour, you can see it's clearly in a range. A range means that when price is bound within a resistance and a support level. So it's just, going up and down within that fixed level. So whatever is going to happen to BTC now, if a breakout happens to the upside, you can look for opportunity to buy. And if it breaks out below this zone to the downside, you can look for opportunity to sell. That's the analysis that is clear cut on BTC at the moment. Solomon, GBP AUD. Okay. All right. I didn't see much on the weekly, so I flipped down to the daily time frame. And this is the daily time frame. We can see that price was trending up earlier, but the last couple of days, we've seen some kind of bearish movement on the GBP AUD. And even overnight till this morning, we can see it looks like we are having a kind of a sell. Now, what I will advise you do with this instrument is this. If price drops to test this trend line, then we may have a reversal. Should you enter a sell now? No. We don't have a clarity for a sell, even though it's a red candle. So candles are not what you trade. They don't trade candles. They don't say, oh, because the candle is red, let me enter a sell. Yeah, you may enter a sell and sell, but the question is, if you decide to reverse, you'll be caught unawares. So it's better to wait for a clear pattern. If price drops to test this support, then we may have a reversal, which will be better tradable and can give a longer term movement in the market. Because if price touches that trend line, it may end up forming a double bottom pattern, which is a bullish reversal pattern. And the trend itself is bullish already from the daily time frame. So you can ride the trend back up. That will give a clearer signal compared to just taking a sell now randomly, and price can reverse on you from any angle. So I would say that wait for a test of the trend line and look for opportunity to take a buy from there to the bullish direction. So that's my view on the GBP AUD. Okay, so I think I've attended to all the questions. All right, so that'll be all from my end this morning. If you're here on PU Prime, you don't have an account with us, this is the best time to open an account. Just go to our website, www.puprime.com, and type in it in the comment section and open a live trading account. Somebody is asking if you have a signal. There is no signal, this morning. If there's a signal, we'll let you know. It's not really all the time you get signals. So when there's no signal, we analyze the market. That's someone what to trade this morning, sir. The market is ready. It's not yet ready for a trade. When it's ready, we'll let you know. So if you're in a funded client group where we drop more signals, definitely you get signals there. You can see the testimonials of what was posted last week. I mean, over 200 pips generated in the funded group. So if you're not in the funded group, you're actually missing a lot. So what's the requirement for being in the funded group? Just fund your account to the tune of about $200 or top up your current account to same amount and you'll be upgraded to the funded client group. And peradventure, you're here, you like what we do, but you don't have the time to trade. Maybe you even know how to trade and you don't have time to trade. We have it covered. We have our copy trading platform where you can copy the signal of professional traders. Kindly know that these are not PU Prime client, I mean staff in any way. They are independent traders like you who are professional in the business. So you can get your account connected to copy trading and make money passively while you have all the time to do your business, your job, or any other thing that you are focusing your time on. So there's a copy trading system that is really giving a lot of results to our clients. I tell you, it's an amazing system which I can personally recommend. If you're interested in getting connected to that system, just reach out to me privately and we'll see to that. And this system generates, it trades strictly gold. So you don't need to bother yourself waiting whether gold is breaking one level or the other. In fact, if you are in love with trading gold, if you are not connected to that system, I tell you are missing a lot. People are making money on gold while they are sleeping. They wake up in the morning and there's money in their account already. So you don't need to stress to trade gold when you can copy gold. Yeah, that's a word. Don't stress yourself to trade gold, copy gold and make money. So if you're interested in connecting to the system, you can reach out to me. It generates between 10 to 20% in a month passively. All right, that'll be the end this morning. Trade safe and have a great week ahead. Bye bye.